A wrap-up of our conversation with Tsipi Alexander, who is the interim managing executive unsecured lending at Absa Personal and Private Banking, after Absa has announced its return as the official banking partner for the Best Betway SA20, which is a T20 tournament taking place in South Africa. Tsipi, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming on board to make certain that sport in South Africa remains alive.
Thank you, Neto.
15:17 Central African Time. The match between Orlando Pirates FC and St. Eloi Lupopo is still on a 0-0. 17 minutes of football has been played. We will be crossing to this match a little later on, but let's update you on different fixtures that are happening in Africa and the different parts of the world. Let's go to the United Kingdom and look at the Premier League matches that are currently underway. Yesterday we witnessed a match between Leeds United and West Ham. Leeds winning that match by 2-1. That's match day 9 out of 38 matches that has to be played to complete a full season. Chelsea, the Blues, are up against Sunderland at 4 p.m. Central African Time, while Newcastle United takes on Fulham at 4 p.m. Central African Time. Manchester United, the Red Devils, are up against Brighton and Hove Albion at 18:30 Central African Time. The Bees, Brentford FC, takes on Liverpool at 2100 Central African Time. Wolves, that are currently on the basement of the Premier League, will be up against Burnley tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central African Time. Wolves looking for nothing but victory. Arsenal, the Gunners of London, are currently leading the proceedings in the Premier League, takes on Crystal Palace, who have dropped to the 8th position. Earlier in the season, they were in the top 5 bracket. Aston Villa, the Villains, will be up against the Citizens, Manchester City, tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central African Time. AFC Bournemouth takes on Nottingham Forest, the Tricky Trees, at 4 p.m. Central African Time, while Everton takes on Tottenham Hotspur at 18:30 Central African Time. It is now 15:19 Central African Time. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we will be heading to Orlando to find out what's the latest in the CAF Champions League, a second leg of the second preliminary round, and we will update you on other matches that are taking place on the African continent. There's also action in the CAF Confederation Cup, where 2 South African clubs will be in action, but only tomorrow. That is Stellenbosch FC, who will be taking on 15 de Agosto, while Kaizer Chiefs is up against AS Simba of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and both these matches are on a 0-all draw aggregate score. There must be a winner by the end of the final whistle tomorrow.
Where champions rise and legends are made. Join Neto Chemane on Africa at Play, only on Channel Africa.
Uzozisola
15:24 Central African Time. I'm here to meet someone who doesn't love music because of different beats speaks to different people. Justin Vibes featuring Diamonds of Guijo and Azul Sirene Uzozi Sola. This is Africa at Play. As Deleli Siashaya, we made a promise to go to Escotini, Orlando Pirates at Orlando Stadium, where the Buccaneers are up against St. Eloi Lupopo of the Democratic Republic of Congo. 0-0 as it stands. 24 minutes of football has been played, but Orlando Pirates are trailing by 3-0 after conceding these 3 goals away from home at the Democratic Republic of Congo last week, and they are doing all they can to find an early goal, but for now it's still 0-0. Let's go to Soweto.
Congested in that 18-yard area of St. Eloi Lupopo. Sabili Billy once more. Dooley clips it into the box. A clean catch by Simon Lotti Mejo. If most teams could choose where to play the second and final leg of a CAF Champions League contest, they would choose to play it at home. And the Buccaneers simply need to feed off the energy of their home crowd if they are to feast in Champions League qualification. All one-way traffic, still scoreless. Can Nemtajela change that? Maybe Dion Hotto, also playing a hybrid role this afternoon. Moremi grabbed a goal midweek. He'll be looking for maybe more than just one this afternoon. Nduli urged to shoot. He's going to have a shot. Goalkeeper there urging for more pressure on the shooter. On the edge of their seats, as are we all. Not a bad strike. He will probably try his luck once or twice again in this match.
15:27 Central African Time. It's still 0-0 between Orlando Pirates and the Sea Robbers, also known as Amapakania or the Buccaneers. They are up against St. Eloi Lupopo from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Orlando Pirates looking for nothing but 3 goals for now, and they will deal with the other stress when they get to level matters. Let's also take you to another match where it is the Kali Knockout Cup, where Richards Bay FC is up against Durban City in the KwaZulu-Natal derby. It's currently 26 minutes of football has been played, and because of the heat, the players are welcoming the water break.
Khumbule amanqaku amaninzi eDurban City awaphumi kwi-set pieces. Aphumi ibhola ibaleka ngaphakathi ebaleni. Ayenzi loo nto iDurban City. Ayixhomekeki kwi-set pieces. Kodwa bahle ekuyikhuseleni i-set pieces. Kuba banamendi okwapeng banamendi.
Richards Bay, also known as the Natal Rich Boys, up against Durban City, a side that used to be Maritzburg United but came back as Durban City, and they've relocated to eThekwini. They say Durban rocks. Let's update you about the CAF Champions League matches that are currently underway. Power Dynamos have made it to the next round, which is the group stages, after a 1-0 draw against Vipers of Uganda, where they played to a 1-0 draw, and in the first leg they managed to triumph by 2-1, and on aggregate it is 3-2. We will be talking to a head of media from Power Dynamos to talk to us about this exciting achievement where Power 90 have made it to the next round, which is good for Zambian football. Pamela, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play. All right, we seem to be having challenges with that line to Pamela, but we will connect with her in no time. Let's continue to update you about different other fixtures that are currently underway. Al Hilal yesterday managed to triumph by 3-1 against Kenya Police, and on aggregate winning by 4-1. Orlando Pirates, the match we've crossed to, is still sitting on 0-0 after 29 minutes of football has been played. They're playing against St. Eloi Lupopo and trailing by 3-0. Young Africans are up against Silver Strikers at 4 p.m. Central African time, while Rivers United takes on Black Bulls at 5 p.m. Central African time. Petro di Luanda of Angola will be up against Stade d'Abidjan at 1800 Central African time. Let's go back to Zambia and welcome Pamela Singala Mupoti, who is the head of media at Power Dynamos Football Club, following their 1-1 draw with the Vipers Football Club of Uganda at the Levi Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola yesterday. Power qualified on a 3-2 goal aggregate, having beaten the Ugandans 2-1 last week in Kampala. Pamela, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for joining us. I can tell by the sound of your voice and the energy that you are a happy Pamela, because Power 90 have made it to the next round. Talk to us about this journey to date.
Of course, definitely. We are very excited about this victory. We went into Uganda the previous week. We came back with a victory where we won 2-1, and at home we were leading in the second half by the 68th minute, and then I think 10 minutes later we saw Vipers coming through with a goal. Then we were level at that particular stage. So I think for us, what was important is that we were able to get the maximum 3 points when we went to Uganda, and our mission was just to ensure that we actually go into the group stage, and that's what we have achieved as a club. So we're very excited. We're very happy about this particular achievement.
Football-loving fans, and not just those in Zambia, have been missing Power 90 getting into this level of the competition. Talk to us about the secret, if there's any. What did you do differently this time around to get to this point at this season?
Okay, well, I think it's just the determination of the players, the technical bench, and everybody involved in the management of Power Dynamos Football Club. I think even when you look at an individual level, we all want to reach a certain level. So this time around, I think we saw the players, they were more hungry. I think they wanted to turn the fortunes of the country. I think Zambia hasn't really been represented very well, or rather they haven't reached the group stage in a very long time. So I think adding the determination and also the fact that the country hasn't been represented in the group stage in the long term, I think that fueled their hunger, and they really wanted to achieve that, not only for themselves, but also for Mother Zambia.
And what is the team going to do different in the group stages? Because the more you qualify to the next round, the tougher it gets.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think the team is very much aware about that particular challenge. And I think when you qualify, as you have rightly put it, that means it gets tougher. So I think they themselves will be looking at also getting tougher and just ensuring that they actually show all football lovers why they deserve, or rather why they deserve that spot in the group stage.
And also, the more you qualify to the next round, it also means handsome money coming the way of Power 90,
yes,
which is good for the club, because then it allows you to give the players bonuses. It also allows you to get quality players to beef up the team, so that the CAF Champions League knockout stages can become a way of life for Power 90.
Oh, yes, definitely. I think first at this particular point, let me thank Copperbelt Energy Corporation. This is an energy company in Zambia that is sponsoring Power Dynamos Football Club, and they've been doing tremendously well in ensuring that the club's needs are met. So now this boost in club finances provides a health injection into the club's budget, which is very good. So we've seen every time we've been lobbying our sponsor to give us money, but now this is great because not only does it boost our finances as a club, it also shows, or rather validates, that we have actually progressed, and it also serves as an inspiration to the players to also aim higher. And also, as you've rightly put it, the issue of bonuses, the issue incentives, they all come in. So they know that the more they play harder, the more they put in the hard work, the better the bonuses become. So this is also life-changing for the players, the technical bench, and other people who are managing this particular club.
That's the voice of Pamela Singala Mopoti, who is the head of media at Power Dynamos Football Club, a football club that is based in Southern Africa, in Zambia. You can never talk Southern African or African football and not mention Power Dynamos, also known as Power 90. Your special message to the Power 90 fans?
Oh, wow. The victory is unprecedented. It's great. This is not only for Power Dynamos, but for the country at large. So let's continue to put in our best. Let's continue to support Power 90, because this is a Zambian club that is ready to make history on the African continent this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That is Pamela Mopoti, who is the head of media at Power Dynamos Football Club. Pamela, thank you so much, and thanks for the awesome work that you do to contribute positively to the game of football.
Thank you so much. Have a blessed day.
15:35 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. We are live every Saturday and Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. Central African Time on DSTV Audio Bouquet Channel 802 or OpenView 628 if you are in South Africa. Alternatively, you can connect with us from any corner of the world on channelafrica.co.za. My name is Neto Chemane. Let's also update you about the CAF Confederation matches that are currently underway. And of course, 2 South African clubs will be in action, but only tomorrow. Today, there's action between Royal Leopards up against Maniema Union at 3 p.m. Central African Time. That match is currently underway. At 15:30 started a match between USM Alger and Afat Plateau. Cotton Sport takes on San Pedro at 5 p.m. Central African Time. Then at 1800 Central African Time, Singida Black Stars takes on Fambleu du Centre, and Stade Tunisien is up against OC Safi at 1800 Central African Time. Amakosi Kaizer Chiefs take on AS Simba from DR Congo at 3 p.m. Central African Time. Stellenbosch FC will be up against 15 de Agosto of Guinea, also at 3 p.m. Central African Time. Otoho di Oyo will be up against Ferroviario di Maputo of Mozambique tomorrow at 17:30, while Joliba takes on USFA at 1800 Central African Time. ES Sahel versus Nairobi United of Kenya at 1900 Central African Time, and Al Masri is up against Al Ittihad at 8 p.m. Central African Time tomorrow. Let's welcome Namuchana Likezo, our correspondent based in Southern Africa. We are still battling with that line to Namuchana, but we'll connect with him after this short break.
Africa at Play, beautifully, happily marrying sports and music.
All of them done they notice. I'm not joking. All my guys, them know me. Since '06, I've been writing this story. I know be OG, but if you ask them know me. I know they blow trees, only lonely me lonely. Music chose me, just know this and know peace. I dey low key, but I'm never low. Sexy ladies, come wine for me slowly. I love when I sing and wake me believer. I be like the boy, I be seen her. Yeah, nobody on the over. That love that they go far. Who's a go for the labor? That's how they be in the street.
Asake featuring BNDL, that is Bandana, an exciting song indeed. It is one of those songs, even if you are convinced you can't dance, but for some reason they will convince you to dance. For football fans, Orlando Pirates is leading St. Eloi Lupopo by a goal to nil, and that gives us an aggregate of 3-1. Let's go to Nigeria. We'll continue to update you on this match. 5 minutes to the break in this match, and the tensions and the emotions are high. We see players pushing each other on the field of play. It goes to show how much they want this victory. Orlando Pirates want it, while St. Eloi Lupopo do not want to concede.
President of the Nigeria Football Federation, Ibrahim Guzo, has expressed confidence in the Super Eagles' ability to succeed in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification playoffs scheduled to take place in Morocco this November. Guzo revealed that the Federation has already begun preparations for the mini tournament and assured that the Nigeria Football Federation will do everything possible to secure Africa's loan ticket to the intercontinental playoffs. Guzo said the NFF has put necessary mechanisms in place to ensure the team receives the best possible preparation for the crucial matches. From our end, we are getting all the cooperation we need from the government through the Sports Commission to ensure that we have good preparation for those matches. By God's grace, we are going to succeed and move to the intercontinental playoffs. Guzo said, it's going to be 2 matches, and by the grace of God, I know we are going to succeed and move forward to the intercontinental playoffs. The NFL president expressed delight over the renewed commitment and determination shown by the players and their recent performances, especially in matches against Lesotho and Benin Republic during the last international window. NF President Guzo speaks.
And we are going to work hard to make sure that we get to the ultimate desired goal. We are aware of the countries that we are going to play with, and we are also aware of the venues. So as I'm talking to you right from today, we have even started preparation for that. But the most important thing is the level of commitment and the zeal of the players. They have now realized that going to the World Cup is a very important thing to them and their career, more than even how Nigerians look at it. So when you look at the spirit they have during our last 2 matches, you know that at least these guys are very much ready to be at the World Cup. So I don't have any element of doubt. To us, from our own side, we are getting all the preparation that we needed from the government through the Sports Commission to ensure that we have good preparation for those matches. It's going to be 2 matches, and by the grace of God, I know we are going to succeed and move forward to the intercontinental playoff.
Former Nigeria international Edema Fuludu has issued a stern warning to Super Eagles goalkeeper Stanley Nwabali, claiming that the showstopper's recent performances show signs of complacency ahead of Nigeria's crucial World Cup playoff games. Fuludu expressed concern that Nwabali's recent displays have lacked the sharpness and focus that made him a fan favorite during the AFCON tournament earlier in the day. Nwabali has been brilliant for Nigeria, but lately he looks too relaxed, Fuludu said. This is not the time to get comfortable. Those close to him should remind him that consistency is what keeps you at the top. The former midfielder stressed that the upcoming playoff fixtures will demand maximum concentration from the entire team, especially the man between the posts. We can't afford mistakes at this stage, he added. Goalkeeping errors can end a World Cup dream in seconds. Fuludu also urged the technical crew to ensure proper communication and tactical understanding within the defense line, warning that overconfidence could cost Nigeria dearly. It's all about discipline, focus, and humility, he said. Nwabali has the talent, but he must prove again that he's reliable when it matters most. Edema Fuludu speaks.
I don't know what he's thinking now. I don't know what his belief is so far. Although that he came in and he became the source of Nigerians, and suddenly maybe he didn't understand that we needed goals. We needed goals at this stage to get where we wanted to get to, apart from winning. They would have been colliding against Lesotho. A skill of breath that we lost, we didn't draw that game against Lesotho. So for me, I think that it should be spoken to in the very good language you understand. I don't know whether he's not sick. I don't know if he's training technique, but I do believe that it's complacency that has led him. And it cannot continue like that. If you want to man football to the next game of our qualifying, they should stop playing serious. Before Nigeria depends on, you know Nigeria, we don't forgive easily.
Another ex-international, Muti Adekoju, also cautioned the Super United shortstopper to change his ways to avoid shattering the dreams of many Nigerians in the playoffs in Morocco before moving on to the intercontinental playoffs in Mexico. Mutiu Adekbo District.
I think he has to change his way, the way he does things and all that, communications and and all everything like that. Because it could be just one mistake that will not make us to get what we want.
Former Super Eagles striker Obina Sofo, however, believes that the Super Eagles have learned their lessons after their star performance against Benin in the last qualifying game. He said that they will come up against Gabon, beat them and also dismiss any other team in the African playoffs. Obina and Sofo says
that the fruit of the whole food factor. And in the qualifying game, when Victor has not been there, and anytime he's involved, all the way they put it on him, and he always delivers. Just always delivers for the national team. And the truth, the difference between playing for the green white team and playing for the control side. You know this. There's a big difference. There's a massive difference. Wearing that jersey, playing for Nigeria, knowing that you have like over 200 people that are watching you back in it. You know Nigeria is a football loving country. That's the only thing that unites everybody. Playing for your country and playing for your club side. I take myself for example. Anytime I come for Nigeria, for me they do a that. And this is the mentality that some of our strikers used to have. Osimhen, when he plays, he's mad, he's upset. That's the thing. Even when he tries to go, there was a time that he tried to score and the goals were not come, but the passion that he has presents our strikers need in order. They have to be upset when they come to play for the Super Eagles.
Anyway, I hope that the Super Eagles do not take Gabon for granted. If they do, they will pay dearly for it. It's the attitude of looking down on teams that nearly cost us the World Cup ticket. Gabon was beaten to the tape by Cote d'Ivoire by just 1 point. Cote d'Ivoire finished with 26 points, while Gabon finished second with 25 points in Group F. In Nigeria's Group K, South Africa finished first with 18 points, while Nigeria came second with 17 points. Most of the teams that topped their groups did not gather as many points as Gabon. That's very, very important for the Super Eagles, to take to heart when they go for the playoffs. Super Eagles coach Eric Chelle is set to freshen his squad for next month's crucial 2026 World Cup playoffs by calling up as many as 3 new players. The top source simply said there will be a few new faces in the Super Eagles squad for the playoffs in Morocco. The coach said there is a need for competition for places. He's also worried about the goalkeeping situation going by what he has been going on to Stanley Nwabali. The identities of the new players are yet to be ascertained. But since he took charge of the Super Eagles in January, Eric Chelle has capped several players: Felix Ago, Uche Crisantus, Benjamin Frederick, Jerome Ako, Tolu Arokodare, and Ola Olusegun. He is therefore not afraid to give new players a chance. The 2026 World Cup playoffs in Morocco will begin on November 13th and will also feature Gabon, DR Congo, and Cameroon. Former Super Eagles captain Sunday Olise has delivered a scathing assessment of Nigeria's World Cup playoff qualification, cautioning fans and officials against what he calls a culture of celebrating mediocrity. Olise, who once captained and coached the national team, said, "While it's natural for Nigerians to feel relieved after the Super Eagles kept their World Cup hopes alive, the qualification should not be mistaken for success. Qualifying for a playoff shouldn't be a reason to dance in the street." Olise said, "We are Nigeria, a football powerhouse in Africa. The standard must be higher than just scraping through. We used to set the bar, now we are celebrating survival." The 1996 Olympic gold medalist lamented that many young fans have grown up without seeing the true dominance of Nigerian football, adding that the decline in expectations reflects the lack of proper systems and accountability within the sport. Many young Nigerians never saw the Super Eagles when we were feared worldwide, he said. They think average results are okay. That's worrying. The focus should be on building a team that competes with the best, not one that barely qualifies. Olise called on the Nigerian Football Federation and technical crew to use the playoffs as an opportunity to reset ambitions, insisting that only by demanding excellence can the country return to its former glory. The players have talent, no doubt, he added. But talent alone is not enough. We need structure, discipline, and belief. Until we restore our standards, we will keep celebrating what should be normal. Sunday, Olise said.
We rejoice at mediocrity, and that is why
when we get mediocre results, anything that's above mediocre, we're celebrating. I'm not trying to downgrade what we have gotten now, but we are celebrating this because it's a lifeline that's been thrown to us again because we were practically dead. But I think personally that it is important for us to look at the situation on the ground. Like, was it 2 months ago, the majority of people in the country have realistically given up. They said it was totally over. So to now get this little glimpse of hope, and I think that is what is making our people rejoice. It is understandable. But there is also something very important we have to look at here. Nigeria is a young population. The majority of the Nigerians we have are people that are used to Nigeria playing like this. Anybody who's less than 30 years old, with all due respect, does not really live up to see the glorious days of Nigerian football. So what they know is what they see now. So to them, they are used to this. So the first time you see a 4-0 is crazy. Whereas the first game Nigeria ever played, South Africa ended in 4-0 when South Africa came out of apartheid. I think it is justified to rejoice because it gives some hope that our group is still in it. It's still in our hands now.
Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Neto Chemane has been nominated for the 2025 African Player of the Year award. Confederation of African Football (CAF) announced Chemane with other nominees for the awards in their X handle in the week. Other notable players who made the shortlist are Egypt and Liverpool star winger Mohamed Salah, Achraf Hakimi of Morocco, and Paris Saint-Germain Sergio Guirassy of Guinea, and Borussia Dortmund and Napoli and Cameroon international Frank Anguissa. Others also in the shortlist are Senegal and Tottenham Hotspur midfielder Pape Matar Sarr, Christian Mayele of the DR Congo, and Pyramid of Egypt Yilmaz Ndiaye of Senegal, and Everton Denison Bonga of Los Angeles FC, and Gabon and Osama Lomale of Morocco, and Aris Bekane. Osimhen won the 2023 African Player of the Year award after helping Napoli win the Italia Serie A title. He relinquished the award to Super Eagles teammate and Atlanta star forward Ademola Lookman in 2024. The 26-year-old bagged a hat-trick in the Super Eagles 4-0 hammering of Benin Republic in their final Group C fixture of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The hat-trick took his goal tally in the World Cup qualifiers to 6 in 5 appearances. Also, the convincing win against Benin Republic helped the Super Eagles qualify for the African qualifying playoffs which will take place in Morocco in 2026. At Galatasaray, Osimhen has netted 2 goals in 6 league matches and 1 goal in 1 game in UEFA Champions League this season. Only a few days ago, we saw him scoring a beautiful brace. Meanwhile, Stanley Nwabali was nominated for the CAF Goalkeeper of the Year award, and Flying Eagles captain Daniel Bamaye was shortlisted for the Young Player of the Year category. And let's turn our eyes now to the CAF Champions League return fixture in South Africa. Remo Stars preparations for the CAF Champions League return leg against Mamelodi Sundowns have been thrown into disarray following visa delays by the South African Consulate General in Lagos. Despite the Nigerian club's early application for travel documents, only a fraction of the team received entry visas, forcing the cancellation of their initial travel plans. 43 visa applications submitted on October 10, 9 days before last Sunday's first leg in Abeokuta, only 11 were initially approved. The number was later increased to 26, but just 12 were players. As a result, Remo Stars had to cancel their early Thursday morning flight booking with Air Tanzania and their hotel reservations in South Africa. Officials of the club expressed concern that the delay could amount to an attempt to frustrate their participation in the return leg of the competition, which follows Sundowns' emphatic 5-1 win in the first leg in Abeokuta. Remo Stars are now racing against time to secure the remaining travel permits before the crucial fixture this weekend. However, Remo Stars head coach Thiago Conde has made an honest admission that Sundowns were head and shoulders above his team. We respect Sundowns. They are one of the best teams in Africa, and you could see their quality. Despite acknowledging Sundowns' pedigree on the continent in contrast to his side, Conde believes his charges are capable of overturning the deficits in Pretoria. Thiago Conde of Remo Stars says.
Different context is a different team, is a different environment. We cannot compare, like I said, the pre-match conference. There's a story between these two clubs. You cannot compare the story of Mamelodi and this competition and Remo Stars on this competition. And there's a lot of things different. And of course, like the coach of Mamelodi said, higher quality players help the coaches to do different things. So, and they have a different resources, and they fight with the resources they have. And we have our resources, and we fight with the resources we have. In South Africa, we are going to understand what was the mistake on this game, collectively and individual, correct them, and draw a plan for the game. Of course, there is a difference of 4 goals, because the score was 5-1, so the difference of 4 goals is difficult. We know, but it's not important. And we are going to work on it, see what we did individually and collectively, okay, what was wrong, correct, and make a plan for the game. Simple.
And it's not a crime, for wishful thinking, and that's one thing about football. There is always optimism, even when you are down, to the extent that you won't get up. And before we go, we still stay with Remo Stars to tell you that the Remo Stars FC of Ikene owner, Honorable Kunle Soname, has blamed the inability of Nigerian teams to perform well during African Continental Club competitions on lack of enough money for football in the country. In what could be a warning that Remo Stars may not find the going easy when they compete in the CAF Champions League this season, Soname opined that the money circulating in Nigeria's domestic football sector is insufficient for a successful continental campaign. He further pointed out that players in Nigeria Professional Football League clubs will be up against opponents who are better motivated with higher salaries and welfare packages. Hence, the edge most of them have against the country's representatives. Soname, who is a major shareholder of UD Firenze of Portugal, stressed that there is not enough money in the game for us in Nigeria. For us to compete with those guys, the money is simply not enough. He went on to cite an example that happened with his team when they were knocked out of both the CAF Confederation Cup and then Champions League in back-to-back years by Asfa of Morocco, whose players, he noted, earn far more than what any Nigerian club can pay. The former chairman of Ikosi local government area in Lagos State recalls Remo Stars played against Asfa, whose players earn so much more than us. Here, they earn maybe 500 to 700 or in the maximum of 800, something like that. But we are playing against players who earn $4,000 or $5,000 in their own club. So most likely 7 out of 10 times they will defeat us. He then made an inference to the home-based Eagles, who are once again struggling to find their feet at the Championship of African Nations CHAN, which he blamed on the mass exodus that many players embark on in the Nigerian league at the end of every season. On the balance of probability, their chances of defeating you is higher because they have better quality players. The best players in our league now, next season, you will not see them again. Those other guys will buy them. So how do you compete with them? Soname concluded rhetorically. I still remember, Soname, the last time that I spoke to Soname, when he told me that he was not interested in winning the league or whatever honors that he gets. That as a businessman, his only concern is raising quality players and selling them, and of course, making money and adding to his business. Remember, he is the owner of Value Jet Airline in Nigeria, and that's the size of sports stand-up in Nigeria. For Channel Africa Sports, Tonu Vane reporting.
15:59 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up the second hour of Africa at Play as we officially head into the third and final hour, and we will be talking to our Nigerian sports correspondent based in the beautiful city of Lagos, Tony Tonero Ubani, on a variety of issues, and we will continue to update you on the latest, the match between Orlando Pirates Football Club and St. Eloi Lupopo. It is a dramatic match. From when St. Eloi Lupopo arrived, we got to see images or visuals rather where the team were not in agreement with the security that is at the stadium, and they were pushing each other, and we couldn't understand really what the issue is. But it goes to show the tension of football at this level, as Orlando Pirates is looking for 2 more goals. They got to go to score a goal after a St. Eloi Lupopo player felt that he was tackled, and the referee was supposed to give them a free kick, and Orlando Pirates got their opening goal, and that caused drama that led to 2 red cards apiece, including Orlando Pirates and St. Eloi Lupopo player. So we will will continue to update you on this match and different other matches. Even as we speak on the visuals, the players are not in agreement with the referee's decisions. 16:01 Central African Time, we've officially entered the third and final hour of Africa at Play.
From football fields to finish lines,
Eliud Kipchoge storms into the history books.
Neto Chemane brings you sports on Africa at Play.
16:01 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. Let's now welcome Tony Ubani, West Africa's finest, our correspondent from Lagos, Nigeria. So Ubani, good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Good afternoon, the Velvet Voice, and thank you so much for having me.
Remo Stars couldn't see the sunset because of just how powerful Mamelodi Sundowns came out, beating them by 5-1 in leg 1 of the second preliminary round of the CAF Champions League. Action continues tomorrow between the two sides. Mamelodi Sundowns looking for another avalanche of goals, while Remo Stars will refuse to give up without the real fight. What can we expect in this encounter?
Yeah, we expected a David and Goliath fight, and of course, so many people in Nigeria believe in, that very spiritually inclined, and everybody believes, that as it was in the Bible, that David was going to, run out the Goliath. But it never happened that way. We just saw that Goliath was indeed too much, too big, and better, than, the David in Nigeria. Talking about, Remo Stars. And honestly, as the return leg of the CAF Champions League, the second round tie between Mamelodi Sundowns and Remo Stars, comes up tomorrow, signs point to an uphill task, for the Nigerian champions. With the reigning African Football League winners in commanding form, Remo Stars hopes of progressing to the lucrative group stage appear very, very slim. However, all may not be lost for the Kenneth-based side under the CAF competition regulations. Elimination at this stage of the Champions League does not spell the end of continental engagement for them. Article 15 of the CAF Champions League regulations stipulates that clubs outside in the second round will automatically drop into the CAF Confederation Cup additional second round, a playoff stage that offers a route into the Confederation Cup group phase. Just as it is, with the Super Eagles, so also shall it be, with Remo Stars. A lifeline in the Confederations Cup, because as it appears, it's really going to be very, very difficult, for Remo Stars to overcome the, Mamelodi Sundowns as it is. So their consolation will be for them to drop down to the Confederations Cup, and perhaps, who knows, they try their luck and, of course, size, on that stage, Neto.
Super Eagles mentor Eric Chelle is confident that the Super Eagles have improved under his leadership. Are you in agreement? Does he have a leg to stand on?
Yeah, it's arguable, and indeed, I think that haven't gotten Nigeria into the playoffs. The young man has, every right, to talk himself up, and indeed, there are so many signs also that point to his claim that a lot has improved. If you remember, I think Gel was appointed head coach by the NFF in January 2025, replacing former Super Eagles winger Finidi George. Under the guidance of the 47-year-old former Malian coach, the Super Eagles won 4 and drew 2 out of their last 6 2026 Super World Cup qualifiers, which was enough to secure a playoff spot. After his first matches as head coach of the Super Eagles against Rwanda and Zimbabwe, Chen led the team to win the Unity Cup in England in May and followed it up with a 1-1 draw with Russia in an international friendly match in June. And indeed, that also points to the fact that the man has done a lot. Quoting him says that I think the Super Eagles have improved, since I took over. But it's difficult because you don't have all the time to work, because in the FIFA window you have like 2 training sessions and you need to be focused on 1 or 2 principles of play. And it's very difficult to work on a lot of things. Judging my 10 months in the Super Eagles, I think we improved in each game. We take it one game at a time. I think it has been positive, but I was a little disappointed because of the chance. But if you look with the Super Eagles, it's positive. And now the most important thing now is November. We have 2 games, and the reality is that the job starts now. From that, Neto, I think that, the young man, everything points to the positive. The positive will definitely come, to life after the playoffs. And, of course, if you overcome the playoffs and then go into the intercontinental playoffs and indeed get get a ticket for Nigeria at the World Cup, I think that Chell would have shot himself into recording and, of course, will become a tiny god in Nigerian football.
If you have just joined us, we are getting an update from West Africa with Tonero Ubani, our correspondent based in Lagos. So, Ubani, the road to the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations has begun. The Super Falcons hit Benin's Amazon by 2-0. So, Ubani, we're losing you a bit there. Your line comes out cracking. If you can just move a touch, I'll let you know if you're sounding better. Still cracking.
Oh.
16:07 Central African Time. We are battling with that line from West Africa. Tonero Ubani. Let's check if the line has improved. So, Ubani, you can continue. Let's find out if the line is sounding better. All right, 16:07 Central African Time. We'll have to reconnect with Tonero Ubani, our correspondent based in West Africa in Lagos, Nigeria, giving us an update on all things Nigerian sport. This is Africa at Play. As Delelisia Shire. Let's take a short break.
You like what we do on Channel Africa? Then follow us on our socials. Channel Africa 1 on all social pages. And get the African perspective. Africa. It's time to plug into the heartbeat of the continent. Tune in to Channel Africa, your go-to radio station that broadcasts in 5 different languages.
L'Afrique du Sud célèbre la journée nationale du
Kabla hujaitwa kwa jina la Double K
or more of our forests have been destroyed.
Estamos ndi
Partido Africano da Independência da Guiné.
See, Channel Africa represents every corner of this amazing land. From Lagos to Cape Town, Nairobi to Dakar, we've got you covered with the freshest news, music, and cultures. So, turn up the volume, feel the rhythm. Enjoy the conversation. Channel Africa, the African perspective. From football fields to finish lines,
Eliud Kipchoge storms into the history books.
Neto Chemane brings you sports on Africa at Play.
16:08 Central African Time. A very warm welcome if you have just joined us. This is Africa at Play. We will connect with Tonero Ubani in just a moment. Apologies about the poor quality line. It is a network challenge which is beyond our control. Thank you for staying on board. Let's update you about the 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup that is currently underway. Earlier on, match ODI 26 of 31, we saw South African Proteas up against the Australian women, and South Africa went down where Australia won by 7 wickets. And tomorrow it is a match ODI 27 of 31 between England and New Zealand, starting at 7:30 Central African Time. Then at 11:30 it will be India women up against Bangladesh women, and that completes the pool stages matches. Then we will move on to the semi-finals slated for Wednesday the 29th of October. It's still a to be confirmed in terms of teams that will face each other, but the semi-final on Thursday has been confirmed, which is match ODI 30 of 31 between India women and Australia women, with the final scheduled for the 2nd of November on a Sunday, and those matches will be confirmed by the action in the semi-finals. Let's now welcome back Tonero Ubani to the conversation. So, Ubani, a very good afternoon once more, and a warm welcome to Africa at Play. You were still talking about the road to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations 2026 with the Super Falcons off to a good start.
Yeah, thank you so much, Neto. I was just saying that you and I, we spoke.
So, Ubani, we are back to square one with the line that is cracking. Please try and move a touch. I will let you know if you're sounding better.
Yeah.
That
Is it better now?
Yes, you're sounding better.
Okay, I was just saying that Super Falcons are the most trusted team in Nigeria, and indeed, these are not the best of times for Republic of Benin. Remember that the Super Eagles just finished, terminating their hopes of, getting to the World Cup, and indeed, the Super Falcons have equally added salt to injury, beating them 2-0 in the 2026 Women's AFCON race. Forward Chiwendu, Ihezue, and Esther Okoronwo scored first half goals to give reigning African champions, 2-0 win over Benin Republic in their first leg of their 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations qualifying fixture. First leg in Lome, Togo. The Super Falcons started strongly with Rashida Rajibade's 6-minute lob over the Amazons goalkeeper Ogun, which was denied by the woodwork, while Folashade Jimisu, 2 minutes later, was carried away by Ogun. The Beninese couldn't hold on tight to their low block game plan as Deborah Abiodun whipped open a congested midfield with a pass to Chiwendu Ihezuo, who excellently put the ball beyond the reach of their goalkeeper. I think that the dominance was so the difference was very clear, and of course the Super Falcons, almost everybody, never lose any sleep, when it comes to their play. The scoreline gives Nigeria the advantage ahead of their return leg built for the MK Abiola Sports Complex at Abeokuta on Tuesday next week, Neto.
16:12 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, we are wrapping a conversation with Tony Ubani, our West African correspondent based in Lagos. So, Ubani, let's talk about the Nigeria Football Federation defending themselves over monies received from the mother body of football, FIFA, and the continental mother body, CAF. What's the real story?
The Nigeria Football Federation, they have just repeated claims circulating on social media suggesting misappropriation of funds received from FIFA and the Confederation of African Football, CAF. This has arisen following the poor performance of Nigerian football on the continent and on the global stage. The country's football governing body explained that every money received from FIFA or CAF is tied to a specific purpose, and both FIFA and CAF send their auditors to audit the accounts in which the monies are received at the end of every year. The NFF also explained that monies meant for developmental purposes are usually tied to specific projects and programs, while the FIFA forwards money are also properly specified under strict adherence to financial regulations, compliance, monitoring, and auditing at every stage of the project or program. FIFA forward projects such as the ongoing NFF FIFA players hostel and new training pitches inside the MKO Abiola National Stadium are subjected to strict controls, monitored and verified at every stage of the work. Every stage is verified, assessed, and sanctioned before further monies are released to the FIFA-approved consultants to whom the monies are paid directly. The Federation called out the mischief of those who are reeling out fictitious figures on social media, saying that he will find no reason to seek clout if he has an idea of how much it costs to organize a single match of any of the national teams. The NFF is a disciplined organization that operates prudent and strict financial protocols that are within global financial best practices. The body has regularly presented its audited accounts prepared by auditors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, on the floor of the Congress at every annual General Assembly. Neto, I must say that when these things become so clear and people begin to query and ask questions on, monies received from CAF and FIFA, that's because the team is not doing well. If you look at the continent, the Remo Stars now will definitely drop to the Confederations Cup, and almost all our continental sides, all the teams being represented by the Nigerian clubs are not doing well. The Nigerian football itself is going down, if we cannot qualify for the World Cup straight away and then going through the rigorous path of the playoffs and then the intercontinental playoffs. That's exactly, so many people are angry, and of course they are trying to find out what exactly those at the glass house are doing. They call their office a glass house, but then I think that glass, people want to force themselves into it to find out who indeed are the ones that are doing that work.
16:15 Central African Time, and that's how we wrap up our conversation with Tony Rubani, our West African correspondent based in Lagos, Nigeria. So, Rubani, always an awesome pleasure getting exciting updates about Nigerian sport. Have a good afternoon further.
Thank you so much, the Velvet Voice of Africa.
Let's also update you about the United Rugby Championship action. Yesterday, Glasgow Warriors defeated the Bulls by 21-12, while the Lions earlier today triumphed by 49-31 against Ulster. Action is ongoing between the Sharks and the Scarlets, with the Sharks leading by 5-0. Dragons will take on Ospreys at 18:30 Central African Time later today, while Benetton will be up against the Stormers at 18:30 Central African Time. Also happening at the same time is a match between Leicester and Zebre, and Cardiff Rugby will be up against Edinburgh at 20:45, while Munster takes on Connacht at 20:45. And we will continue to update you on different sporting action that is taking place on the African continent and globally. My name is Neto Chemane. The match between Orlando Pirates and St. Eloi Lupopo is still 3-1, with Orlando Pirates trailing by 3-1, which is an aggregate score. Before this match, Orlando Pirates were trailing by 3-0, and they've since scored a goal, which means that they need 2 more goals to keep their hopes alive. If it ends like this, St. Eloi Lupopo will qualify to the next round. This is Africa at Play as Delilcia Shire. Let's take a short break.
Africa at Play with Neto Chemane.
Gender-based violence is destroying lives and tearing communities apart. It happens in homes, in schools,
At workplaces, and too often in silence.
but it doesn't have to continue. If you see it, speak out. If you are hurting, reach out.
Because doing nothing is not an option.
Listen to all 19 SABC radio stations from Wednesday, 23rd of July for hard talk, discussions, advice, dramas, educational shows, and interviews around GPV with experts, survivors, lawmakers, and the whole country affected by gender-based violence.
For all your favorite SABC radio stations,
Call 0800 428 428 to report abuse or get help. GPV, it ends with you.
this message is brought to you by the SABC. Where champions rise and legends are made. Join Neto Chemane on Africa at Play, only on Channel Africa.
They seem not to
Call us on +27 63 406 9126.
I can see my whole world changing.
And contribute to the conversation.
Another manga.
Shaking your back, they're shaking your back. Of your leg, nobody, they lose, got illegally. No, never know, but you know, something that's all it be. I be. Everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance. I'm a body rocking my life. Champs-Élysées, juste de Lamborghini. Son côté body, la never teasy. She very mighty with the bagassi. On a this baby, on a bassy. And she want to tell me if it not be me. Everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance. Everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance, everybody dance.
It is a song titled Kelebu by Rema, and before that we played you Jit Jive by the Bundu Boys. With African music, believe you me, you will always be well looked after. It speaks to the right part of the spirit. 16:25 Central African Time, a match between Orlando Pirates Football Club and St. Eloi Lupopo of the Democratic Republic of Congo is still on a 1-0 lead by Orlando Pirates, which gives us a 3-1 aggregate score in favor of St. Eloi Lupopo. We will see what happens in the next 28 minutes as the 62 minutes of football are played. Let's now welcome to Africa at Play our Kampala-based correspondent, Sam Mpoza. Mr. Mpoza, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play. All right, we're still trying to connect with Mr. Mpoza all the way from Kampala. In the meantime, let's go to Orlando Stadium and witness the action between Orlando Pirates and St. Eloi Lupopo. It remains to be seen if the Sea Robbers will find the 2 goals that they are looking for, while St. Eloi Lupopo wanted to protect the current scoreline of 3-1 on aggregate.
So this sticky situation they find themselves in is not exactly uncommon. But here goes Apollos. Just waiting to deliver. He does deliver. 3 Buccaneers in the box. 1 collecting for a throw. Dlamini. Oswin Apollos, he's going to have a shot, and he does! Just how close was he? It is the day for divine intervention if Orlando Pirates are going to pull this one off. Just swerve the other way. But he caught it sweetly, did the boy from Bishop Lavis. Dion Hotto, ready to make a foray into the half of St. Eloi Lupopo. Wanted Butuma to come short to collect, but then he misplaced his pass. And now he's got some defensive work to do. Nduli. Maswangani just hasn't happened for him just yet this afternoon. Dlamini through the lines. Oswanapolis looking to go through the legs. Can't. Mendy. Amongo. Bukazi is hands on. Got the last tickle of the ball. Orlando Pirates do, of course, hold the honor of being the first from South Africa to win this competition, to win a Continental Cup. But they might be the first South African club knocked out of a CAF competition this season. But that remains to be seen. Owatile Jacobs.
16:28 Central African Time. If you have just joined us, a very warm welcome to Africa at Play. We now welcome Sam Mpoza, our correspondent based in Kampala, Uganda. Sam Mpoza, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Yes, good afternoon, my brother Neto Chemane. Thank you so much for having me on the show. This very cold afternoon in Kampala has been drizzling here. It's somehow a rainy season, so we have cold environment. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. But today, this Saturday, it's a bit cold.
Enjoy every moment of the rainy season. Those are blessings right there. We will be talking to Sam Mpoza about the preparations of the under-17 Ugandan national team as they are gearing up for the upcoming FIFA World Cup under-17 that is taking place in Chile. And the matches that are happening will actually in Morocco. We've got Japan under-17 who will be taking on Morocco under-17, while Costa Rica takes on UAE, and Argentina will be up against Belgium, while Qatar takes on Italy. South Africa, Amajimbos, will be up against Bolivia, and Senegal takes on Croatia, while New Caledonia is up against Portugal. And all these matches are taking place on Monday with kickoff times to be confirmed. Tunisia will be up against under-17, while Tunisia takes on Fiji, while Haiti takes on Egypt. Ivory Coast will be up against Switzerland, and North Korea takes on El Salvador. These matches are taking place on Tuesday, with Brazil taking on Honduras. Germany under-17 up against Colombia, and England under-17 will take on Venezuela, and Indonesia versus Zambia, Mexico versus South Korea, France versus Chile, and Panama takes on Ireland, while Tajikistan under-17 takes on Czech Republic, Paraguay, Uzbekistan, and Austria takes on Saudi Arabia. Canada will be up against Uganda under-17 on Wednesday, and this tournament will be taking place in Middle East in Qatar. Sam Mpoza, your thoughts?
Well, thank you so much for that information. I think I should also add on some small bit of information about the general organization of the tournament in Qatar. There are going to be 48 teams for the first time, just like the main World Cup, the FIFA main World Cup would be. 48 teams participating, but FIFA has also changed because this now the under-17 World Cup is going to take place every year. It's going to be an annual tournament, so it will not be like the big World Cup for the men that takes place after 4 years. This one is going to be annual, and Dubai is most likely to host it for the next 2 consecutive years. This World Cup will take place at the Dubai Sport City, which has 13 pitches in one complex, and
So only 9 out of the 13 pitches are going to be used for this tournament. So the teams are not going to be moving long distances. They're going to be moving within the 250 acres of land that were demarcated for sports. There are different sports disciplines that have been planned for in that same land that measures up to 250 acres. So the tournament kicks off on 3rd November, and Uganda is one of the teams that are going to participate. Africa is represented by many countries like Neto, you have just of course, Uganda is part of them, South Africa, Senegal, and many other countries. So, yes, the Ugandan national team, the under 17, left the country this week, and they arrived in Dubai on Wednesday, and preparing there, and they're participating in the Dubai under 17 football stage. On Friday night, on Thursday, they had one game. They played Venezuela, and they drew 1-1. Uganda and Venezuela settled a 1-1 draw. And tomorrow they will be on Papua New Guinea in the same tournament as they prepare to go and take the rest of the members in Group K, where there is Chile, Uganda, France, and Chile. Those are the countries that are in Group K. I think I've forgotten one country in that group. So it's going to be a tough group for Uganda, because there's also Canada, because Uganda is opening their first game against Canada on 5th of November. So it's going to be a tough set for Uganda, who are qualified for their first World Cup, and this is the first football team in Uganda that has ever qualified for the World Cup. So it's a test for the team, a test for the mission. So it's a challenge for everyone, for the fans and everyone, because for a long time Ugandans have been supporting the World Cup. They have been watching the World Cup, but no Ugandan team has ever been there. So it has always been a business of in other countries. Of course, the African countries that participate in this World Cup, Nigeria, Cameroon. Once upon a time, South Africa was there. They are going back this time round. Congratulations to them. So you will find that so many Ugandans support teams like Cameroon and Nigeria, because they picked that love for the team when they were representing Africa in the World Cup. So here we are. The country has a team now in the World Cup, and everyone will be watching to see what Uganda does in that championship. Canada, the team they're going to play against, has never won a game in the World Cup, despite them being there for the last, I think, 9 times. They have been there for the last 10 times. They qualify, but they don't win games. They always get draws and lose games. Again, in the same group where we have France have been champions before, and they are a very formidable team. So when Ghana faces France, that will be a very good test for them to get themselves against the best in the world. Of course, Chile, coming from South America, a good team, and it's also a formidable side that the under-17 team is going to face. So that is what is happening. But we hope the team can perform that side, because of course they have examples to learn from. Chile, the team they are going to play against, is a team that they came to the World Cup. They played up to the semi-finals of the World Cup. So that shows you that anyone can perform well if they are well prepared. You don't have been there before. You just need to prepare well, and then you go down there and perform well, and probably you make a mark in the tournament.
If you have just joined us, we are talking to our East African correspondent, Sam Mpoza, based in Kampala. Sam Mpoza, let's also talk about the boxing ring, where Team Uganda had a good day in the boxing ring during the Zone 3 Africa Boxing Championship, which ended in Nairobi, with Uganda winning 5 gold medallions.
Well, yes, Team Uganda performed so well in this championship, the Africa Zone 3 Championship at Kasarani Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. They have been there for the last 10 days, but with the championship, the Zone 3 Championship had also other games like swimming, where still Uganda won the swimming championship there. And then the boxing of course, 16 boxers to Kasarani to Nairobi, and 5 of them were able to win gold medals, and then 6 came back with silver medals. And I'm not so sure about the bronze, but as for the last evening, because the tournament ended last evening, but Uganda could be having 3 bronze medals. So that is a good performance for a team that has not been so much onto the international scene in the recent past. They are trying to rebuild and come back strong. Of course, there are always financial challenges for the boxing team. The Boxing Federation president has always complained that government gives much attention to football and they ignore the other sports disciplines. Actually, football takes a giant share of the sports budget in the country. Almost more than half of the budget goes to football. And then there's also athletics, which takes some. And then there's also rugby, takes a small piece of it. Rugby, boxing, netball, these ones share a small bit of it, and which is almost equal in terms of their sharing. But again, there are other sports which completely suffer, like volleyball, these small games, volleyball, talk about games like Medipool, Ludo, body games, chess, all those games, badminton, they suffer a lot. So the boys going this far and winning 5 gold medals in a tournament which had a very good boxing nations like Cameroon, Kenya, Tanzania, Burundi, DRC, DR Congo, in a tournament that had boxers from such countries. Because if you talk about Cameroon, you talk about DR Congo, you talk about Kenya and Uganda. You see, now that means you have almost the best boxing community in Africa. If you put those ones together, of course, a few countries will miss, like South Africa and the Anglophone countries like Tunisia brings Algeria and Egypt and Morocco. They also have some good boxers. But talking about the Sub-Saharan region, you had all the Sub-Saharan region in Nairobi, Kasarani, where Uganda was able to win 5 medals. To me, that is a good performance. The boys are coming back, the boys and girls, because this was both boys and girls, and they're coming back on Sunday in Kampala. Let's wait and hear the stories they will tell us about this tournament. But it was a fantastic tournament for the region, for Africa, but for Uganda in particular. Back to you, sir.
16:40 Central African Time. That is Sam Mpoza, our correspondent based in Kampala, Uganda. Sam Mpoza, please do stay on the line. We take a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up with the cricket that is happening. It is the Victoria Cricket Series between Uganda and Canada women.
When you're at the top, you become the conversation. Join the hot conversation with Neto and Neto Chemane on Channel Africa, on Africa at Play. Drop us a voice note on +27 63 406 9126. Got something to say? Are you passionate about issues that matter? Do you have a voice that deserves to be heard? Well, we've got the perfect platform for you. Call in or drop us a WhatsApp on +27 63 406 9126. And we will call you back so you could have your say and be part of the conversation.
30 years of age. I just turned 30 on the 15th of November. So that's who I am,
It's not just talk. It's your chance to air your views. Share your opinion. Engage with the community that values your perspective. Follow us on our social media. Visit our website at www.channelafrica.co.za and get ready to share your views on Channel Africa, the African perspective. Play with Neto Chemane on Channel Africa. We are broadcasting to the world about Africa.
16:42 Central African time. Things have changed at the Orlando Stadium. Orlando Pirates are now leading by 2 goals to nil, still trailing 3-2 on aggregate because of the 3 goals that St. Eloi Lupopo scored last week in their own backyard, back in the Democratic Republic of Congo. 78 minutes of football has been played. We're wrapping up a conversation with our Kampala-based correspondent, Sam Mpoza. Sam Mpoza, Victoria Cricket Series between Uganda and Canada women was the latest.
Yes, thank you so much. But before I tell you something about the Victoria Series, I should also let you know that Uganda's representative in the CAF Champions League Vipers are out of contention because they lost to Power Dynamos of Zambia on a 3-2 goal aggregate, because Vipers lost the first leg in Kampala by 2-1. And then when they went down to Levi Mwanawasa Stadium, they drew 1-1, and now they're out of the tournament. They're coming back home to concentrate on the Uganda Premier League, which they had actually earlier refused to play because of the new format. But after the new format was called off by FIFA, now they are ready to play in the Uganda Premier League and probably prepare for next season of the Africa Club Championship qualifiers. Now, to cricket, Uganda is hosting Canada in the Victoria 5-game series. The series are ending tomorrow, and that is in T20 cricket. And Uganda has won so far 4 of the 5 series, and tomorrow they are playing the 5th one. So already Uganda are champions of the series, and this series are helping them to prepare for other international engagements. Remember, they are supposed to travel to Thailand next week, where they'll be playing in the Women Emerging Cricket Championship that will be in Thailand with so many other good countries, of course, including the world giants in cricket. So Uganda is doing well in women cricket. They are trying day by day to ensure that they improve, especially in T20 cricket. T20 cricket is easier. It's easier for especially the countries living from the smaller economies, because it's easy to play, easy to manage, and that is why no wonder Uganda is performing this good. So, and of course, winning the series helps Uganda to improve in the world ranking. We shall be waiting to see where the points that they pick from this championship will put them in the world ranking. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sambaza. Have a good afternoon further, and thank you for that update. 16:45 Central African time. That's how we wrap up our conversation with Sam Mpoza, our correspondent based in East Africa, in Kampala, Uganda. Let's now go to the voice notes. We've got Apiwe Ngwenya and Bongani Juma, who have responded to our topic of the day. The Interconfederation Playoffs officially named the FIFA Playoff Tournament of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification tournament, which will determine 2 qualification spots for the 2026 FIFA World Cup to be played in Canada, Mexico, and the United States. The playoffs will take place in March 2026 in North America, reportedly in 2 venues in Mexico. And the question we are asking is, why can't Africa be given 10 automatic spots, unlike being subjected to continental playoffs, considering the number of countries in Africa? Your thoughts? We've got thoughts from Apiwe Ngwenya and Bongani Juma.
Hi, Africa Play. This is Apiwe Ngwenya. I think that it has to boil down to the quality of football played in these specific countries and the continent. So if Africa is given 10 automatic spots, maybe the quality of football might not be what they want at the World Cup. It has to be up to a specific standard. So as much as, yes, Africa may have 54 countries, we would like to see at most of our countries there. It will be fantastic. But just like the South American countries, there are also a number of them, and we'd like to see, and they'd also like to see more of their teams there. It just, I think, has to boil down just to the quality of football played in those continents and viewership as well. If there's more African countries or more South American countries playing in the Cup, how many people will actually tune in to watch? So it might just be boiling down to that.
Good afternoon, Neto and the listeners. This is Bongani Chuma from Lenasia. Look, Neto, FIFA is controlled by UEFA. And that's why you see UEFA being allocated a lot of sports than Africa, even though Africa has more countries than Europe. So when you talk equality is a foreign language in FIFA's vocabulary. Hence, you see even issues of racism that predominantly affects African players. FIFA does not really deal with that because they don't really subscribe to equality, even how they do things. So I'm not really surprised how they're dealing with these matters. But African leaders also, some of them, they want to talk, but they know they're going to be ostracized by the top brass at FIFA if they start questioning things. Hence, all of them, they've become submissive. Thank you, Neto.
16:48 Central African Time. Thank you to those that have shared their thoughts with voice notes. And the last one we've just played was Bongani Chuma, who is a football commentator for our sister station at the SABC, Mongana Lonene FM, doing commentary in a language called Xitsonga, one of the 11 official languages in South Africa. We take a short break. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation with a renowned African journalist based in South Africa, Thabiso Lehoko, an enthusiast when it comes to running. You can wake him up at any moment and say, let's go run. He'll never ask you why. We'll have that conversation after this short break, as we will also be having a special tribute to our fallen hero, our colleague at Channel Africa, Paseka Makafula, a very great gentleman with a good charisma and a good character. It is a great loss indeed. We will have that conversation with Thabiso Lehoko shortly.
Siyabangena manje. Vito iJabulani Nkolele iMagoda. Jabulani is a young man from Giyani in Limpopo in South Africa. Very easy guy, taking things easy. To know me is to know that I love what I do, which I'm crazy about it. So when you hear me on radio, expect the best. Expect great music. Expect great content. Expect 180 minutes of nothing but fun. You'll find me on the morning reset, 3 to 6 a.m., Monday to Friday. Siyabangena baba. Ay. Mbuleke.
From football fields to finish lines,
Eliud Kipchoge storms into the history books.
Neto Chemane brings you sports on Africa at Play.
16:50 Central African Time. A very warm welcome to Africa at Play. We will shortly be saying our goodbye, but worry not, as we will be back again tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Central African Time. Let's now welcome to Africa at Play Thabiso Lehoko, our colleague at Channel Africa, who has been with the SABC for quite a remarkable years. He is a running enthusiast. He enjoys running, and I say big ups to him all the time because that is indeed a good habit. He is a renowned journalist in Africa, based in South Africa. Thabiso, a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Africa at Play.
Neto, a very good afternoon and good afternoon to your listeners.
Thank you so much indeed for joining us. We woke up to sad news where one wishes rest in peace could be converted to return if possible. The loss of our dear brother, a colleague, a friend, and a very good soul indeed in Paseka Makafula.
A very nice person, actually someone who's quite warm and who took a lot in terms of, insofar as others are concerned, in terms of problems. Paseka is one person who listened, a very good listener, and you would confide in him, forgetting that he has his own problems. And I think that's one of the things that we as his friends were selfish on. Nonetheless, I would like to confirm with you that I'm sitting with his two brothers here. And honestly speaking, we are feeling more or less the same. We are saddened. His dog is actually passing by. Normally, on any other day, the dog would be very hyper. But even today, it's more or less like it took a shock. It's one of those days where I saw a message coming in from Mariki, who happens to be the Channel Africa administrator, confirming that Paseka is no more. And 2 minutes later, I was called by Paseka's wife, and it is there when it dawned on me that Paseka is no more.
Yeah. One thing we were never taught, Tabiso, is how to deal with this loss. You can be intelligent all you like, knowing how to deal with life challenges. But as soon as a loved one, a dear brother, a dear friend, and a colleague is no more, then it becomes very sad indeed. My condolences to you, because I know how close you were to the fallen hero, Paseka Makafula, and to the entire Makafula family as well.
Thank you very much. And I will tell the brothers that Channel Africa has sent its condolences to Paseka and the family. And we will be together throughout the process in ensuring that he reaches his final destination.
Tabiso, before we say goodbye to you, let's also try and brighten the mood, although it's not easy. You are also a running enthusiast, although you are a renowned journalist, but you still see a need to go out on the road and get that exercise bracket ticked. Talk to us about the importance of running, although you are not an elite runner.
Well, that has been able to really make me feel good. And what I pride myself with that is the fact that it has made me kind of look young, though maybe you'd beg to differ. And other than that, it keeps me going. So it is one of those things which, if you add into your life process, it becomes very beneficial in the long run.
Wow. No, believe you me, I do not differ with you, because I know the benefits of every exercise. Thank you so much for joining us on Africa at Play. Have a good afternoon further.
Thank you very much, Neto, and goodbye.
16:54 Central African Time. That's how we wrap up our conversation with Tabiso Lehoko, and a running enthusiast and a good friend to our fallen hero, Paseka Makafula. Before we say goodbye, we've got Anika Launch to tell us more what to expect on the show. When Africa's Velvet Voice says goodbye, you will never be lonely. Believe you me, you will be in good company. Anika Launch, bonjour.
Bonjour Neto, bonjour à tous les auditeurs de Channel Africa. Alors, nous sommes tristes, nos cœurs sont lourds, nous venons de perdre l'un de nôtres. Mais bon, nous continuons quand même. Sur Mix Vibration aujourd'hui, nous allons jouer de la musique comme nous le faisons tous les week-ends, n'est-ce pas? Pour vous faire plaisir, et nous allons nous entretenir aujourd'hui avec un artiste. Il sera au studio avec nous aujourd'hui. Nous allons danser, nous allons bouger afin de vous accompagner pendant ce beau week-end. Alors, tout à l'heure sur Mix Vibration. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. You can travel to different parts of the world, but you will come back to Channel Africa, where we broadcast into the world in 5 languages, in English, Chinyanja, Kiswahili, Portuguese, and French. And of course, Mix Vibration coming your way in the next few minutes in French. It's time for us to say goodbye. The match between Orlando Pirates and St. Eloi Lupopo, it's still on. 90 minutes of football has been played. It's now the 92nd minute out of 5 minutes of the referee's optional time. As it stands, Orlando Pirates leading this particular encounter by 2-0, but on aggregate still trailing by 2-3. If it ends like this, St. Eloi Lupopo will continue to the next round of the CAF Champions League, which is the group stages. Thank you for choosing Africa at Play. My name is Neto, Neto Chemane. Hosiati Konyangazi Mumkajwa Pandle Konjani Moyani Voko Tendele. Thank you to our technical operator Catherine Chuchu TV Maleka, as well as my producer Andisi Wefagemalu Zobona Mali. Not forgetting our social media guru Dumiselema, and our audiovisual streaming specialist Sejabu Mnyakeni. Africa at Play as Delelisia Shaya. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
From football fields to finish lines,
Eliud Kipchoge storms into the history books.
Neto Chemane brings you sports on Africa at Play.
se